The show is Engineer Your Life. I'm Lungelo KM, and this is a brand new spanking season of the show. I'll be hanging out with your favorite guests, musicians, entrepreneurs, just amazing people, man, that you'll love and you'll get to know better. But coming up first is Harrison Mkhize, radio personality and now a brand new musician who just launched his new EP, Stranger's Love. Harrison, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon.
Welcome to Engineer Your Life.
Thank you. Thank you. Good
You're the first guest, Vele.
Yes, I am. Number one besides.
Yeah.
You forgot.
Yes.
So I'm not only a musician, I'm not only a radio personality or a television presenter. I'm also a teacher. This is what I do Monday to Friday. And I'm also an academic. As much as my master's is difficult, but I'm also an academic man.
I mean, teaching, why?
I've always had the affinity of simplifying complex ideas and relaying the information in a way that people just understand. And I love kids.
And I think the simplifying element with children is that children need worldly concepts, they need theoretical concepts to be brought down to their level, right?
Yes.
And that's fantastic. And then how does that translate then from teaching children the simplification to now music?
When you listen to music, there's a lot of stories, and that's what happens in the classroom. You're basically telling children stories, whether it's mathematics, whether it's whatever. There's a story behind it.
Are you a maths teacher?
Yes, I am.
Okay,
I'm a maths teacher.
Yeah,
so I always think about maths, and even when I teach maths in the classroom, I'm telling them about stories. The story behind this is that everything has a history, and once you explain that to kids, they actually get it. Now let's take that to music. Music is also storytelling. You sit down, you think of a story, you have an experience, you write a song. Yeah. And it's all like storytelling and telling your stories and actually teaching people. I actually think of the media space as a huge classroom.
Fair.
The audience is bigger.
Absolutely.
In the classroom, it's me in front of the kids. In the media space, it's me and the rest of the world. Depending
on who really consumes the music. or the media platform that you're on.
And actually, now that depending on who, angit vele nasesikoleni nama grades, kune taste.
Okay.
Naga music, kune.
Who's your grade? Who's your taste? What's your genre?
It's anybody that loves music. I think obviously because I'm new in the music space, for me it's anybody who appreciates music. If you appreciate music, bengathanda ukuthi ube na 19 to 35
youth.
Ube youth.
Ntonton Youth League.
Youth League.
Wow. Anyway, so you've gone through that, the music, you've branched off into music. I remember I saw you on a certain TV channel doing TV, hosting an amazing show. Well done for that, by the way.
Thanks.
And now you've gone into music. Your music is all about love. Why love? Feel free. We're in South Africa. We're in South Africa.
Why did I decide to speak about love? It is because love is such a huge part of my life. Everything that I do and everybody who knows me, they experience love from me in one way or another.
Okay.
Whether it's tough love, soft love, whatever kind of love.
Kind love. That's an important one.
Right.
Yeah.
People get that from me, and I also get that from people. My biggest story is love, and as I had said previously, I think of music as storytelling, and so because this was my first sort of offering, Yomculo, I said I want to start with my biggest story, which is love.
I've listened to the EP. I mean, it's absolutely amazing. It's recently been released a few days ago.
Yes.
And I think my favorite song is Complicated. Oh my gosh, complicated. I don't have the words actually.
I get.
Why complicated? And two, there's a specific Zulu idiom in there that says, Ngaze ngaikwaza ngowami. And I'm like, what does this mean? But it sounds so cute, man. It's sexy.
Because first of all, it's Zulu sex. If anybody is looking for somebody, Zulu men are the hill.
Not this.
Yeah. But ngizoqala translate nje the ngaze ngayigwaza ngowami part. It just basically says I have cut my nose to spite my face. It's like I've done it to myself. Mangase ngitranslate ngezulu, it's I've literally stabbed myself with my own knife, which is the same thing as cutting your nose to spite your face. And that's what we do in love. That's what we do in love. I mean, if you're a person who tries out love, like myself, you realize that you spend a lot of time just trying out. And after every tryout, it's like, geez, I really wasted my time there.
So basically, ukuzigwaza ngowakho, in simple terms, it's self-inflicted pain.
Yes.
You've entered the journey of love, wagowa in our colloquial language, and so yagowa, and it was all your fault because you could see the signs, you could see the red flags, you saw the white flags as well. We don't mention enough that people have white flags.
Is it white flags or green flags?
Look, but but you've seen the green flags, you've seen the white flags, you've seen the red flags, and you've gotten to a point where you've inflicted the pain on your own.
You know, also in that song, that's where I talk about a part of me knew that you were not good for me, but I ignored it because of the plans that I had, right? And it directly ties into that. Uguti, I am the one that did this to myself, and I think that's what, you know, when we get hurt by love, we can always blame ourselves. We can always blame other people, but effectively we do it to ourselves.
So Harrison, you can't separate me from technology. So I mean,
of course, I mean
the hashtag.
Can we separate fish from water?
Right. So this part of the show is called the Tech Corner. Here I've got something that means something to you, if that makes sense. It's a technical item, technology product. It's a gadget that I believe you use in your life.
Okay.
And it has contributed to your success and where you are, right? So let me get my special box.
What's in the box? That's a really
Ibhokisi.
Ibhokisi esandleni.
15,000 rand. Ibhokisi. So this is the DJI Osmo Mobile 3 gimbal, right? Mm-hmm. This is the gimbal.
Thank you.
So Harrison, what does this mean to you in your career and what has it done?
Okay, so first of all, the person who bought me this gimbal, I didn't even ask for it, right? I was just speaking. You know when you speak about something, you're like, oh, I really need a gimbal because I want to create content. And then the person who bought me this actually went out to get this for me. Thank you.
Aw, cool. I mean, so how do you use it then in your work, in your line of work?
I mean, I'm a content creator. You know, I'm a content creator, just creating content around, I create content for brands. I create content around my own work that I do. And I think one of the things that has sort of got me the attention of the people, and one of the things that has gotten people to respect the work that I do is, in a large part, my gimbal, because it's the quality of my work.
I get that.
So this piece of technology has really improved just the quality of my work and the way that I'm able to deliver umsebenzi wami, you know.
Speaking of content creators, this might be a bit sideways, but I think this is relevant. What do you think, in a monetary value, financially, is the country, South Africa, ready for queer content creators?
Uyazi ukuthi South Africa is ready for a lot of things.
Yeah.
Especially, I normally say that when something happens in KZN, it's ready to happen in the rest of the world, or rather in South Africa, because Abantu base KZN are very, they're not liberal in thought. We're very traditional, which is great. But you're beginning to see a lot of queer people, openly queer people in KZN. And that's how I know that South Africa is ready. So to simply answer your question, South Africa is ready for queer content creators. In all of the spectrum of queerness. I think we're ready. But we're ready. It's almost like ingane, when a child is 12 months old, but meaning but we actually are ready.
I get that. So we're at a space where we've developed enough to break out of our conservativeness,
yes,
and display who we are.
Do you know why? Because as a country, we've done it with other identities. We've done it with the rich and the poor, where poor people are now in varsity. Previously, poor people didn't make it to varsity.
I get that.
So we've done it in the class spectrum, where we have worked with the subordinated and we've given them access. You know what I mean? We've done it with race. There's still a lot of work that has to be done around these two issues, but we've done it. Surely we can also do it in terms of sexual identity as well. And we're ready to have the conversation. We're ready for more visibility. We are. I think, we'll see how we manage once we have queer content out there, but we're ready for it. Senzo no Jason, classical example. It set South Africa crazy
on a different trajectory.
But we had the conversation, and we're here now. Were we ready?
Harrison, the gimbal, right, itself is a tool, for my understanding, where you can put either your phone or your camera, and you're able to capture motion without it moving. So more for stabilization.
Yes.
Right? How has it helped you specifically in that sense, technically?
Technically, okay. So first, I just want to sort of open the gimbal because abantu bezokwazi ukuthi bayibone. Basically,
oh geez, it's a weird item.
It really is. So you turn it on. Ah, my God. Right.
Yeah.
And then you put your phone here. First, it says that it helps with the balancing.
Yeah.
Uguti, most of the time when you're using your phone, the picture will shake like this.
I get that.
But with the gimbal, it actually balances it out. But also, as content creators, we're always wanting our content to be cinematic. So that we can tell the story more beautifully and we can advertise the content. So if Gishutala, as opposed to just grabbing my phone like this and zooming in and out, I can actually begin to create shots where I'm moving the gimbal like that, and it looks really, really cinematic and cool.
And now you're not seeing somebody shaking and you're like, hi, bo.
It's quite stable, and that is what sets my content apart from everybody else.
So we're almost at the end of our show, and this is one of my favorite segments. I did mention that Tech Corner is a fav, but this is definitely a fav of mine because we get to dig deep into something that's a bit personal. We call this the final truth, right?
Mina ngiyakusaba musuza final truth.
Give me a chance. Okay, so I'm going to ask you a question, right? And I'm going to need you to answer me honestly, genuinely, from the depth of your heart. So, a popular person that you were in an entanglement with, right? You guys went on a date and you went to a fancy restaurant in a beautiful place in South Africa, and he left you with a 7,000 Rand bill. Did this happen? I mean, what? Did it happen?
Yo! There's a story, first of all.
Not tears. Did it happen?
Can I plead the fifth? Kosiami. Yo! I am gonna. First of all, it was a business meeting.
Okay. Business.
But the next question is what business?
Yes.
What's the question?
Did he leave a 7,000 Rand bill?
It was 10,000 Rands.
Anyway, the next part of the show that we going into, which is the final segment of the show, positive vibes, positive energy. Here we're all about spreading love. We're saying cheers to Harrison. I think we can say cheers to A Stranger's Love. That's the name of your new EP. I've heard it. It's absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
I'm sure the rest of the country is enjoying it. They're loving it. And we're just going to say a cheers, man, to success, to a beautiful 2022. And just everything else that's amazing for us. Anything specific you'd like to say cheers to?
I just want to say cheers to love, you know. I want
you maintaining that love theme.
I want all of us to find love.
Yeah.
I think as a person I function better when I am surrounded by love.
And when you're in love.
And when I'm in love.
Okay.
I'm more creative when I'm in love. I was created out of love, and I want that for people.
Yeah.
I want that for myself.
Okay, so it's cheers to love. It's cheers to success. It's cheers to a beautiful run for your EP. And it's cheers to just greatness.
Cheers to more content.
Cheers. That was another beautiful episode of Engineer Your Life with Lungelo KM. The wonderful thing that I learned from Harrison is that, you know, you just need to chase your dreams, no matter how obscene they sound, no matter how crazy they sound, and no matter how many of them there are. I mean, Harrison is a teacher, he is a musician, he is a TV host, he is a radio host. I mean, the list is endless. But you know what he did? He chased his dreams.